There's this deep human thing, isn't there? This uh, drive for opportunity for something new, maybe something better. And when you look globally, India is just such a huge part of that story. So today, we're diving deep into India's massive global migration. It's, well, it's complicated. Full of dreams, sure, but also real costs. And the diaspora's influence, it's immense. Our mission today for you is to try and unpack all of that.
Yeah, and what really jumps out from the sources is just the sheer scale, but also how diverse this movement is. One article summed it up perfectly. From IIT to MIT, from Punjab to Canada, from Kerala to the Gulf. It's millions moving everywhere, really, for education, jobs. But like you said, what's the cost? What's the real impact long-term on India itself? We'll explore how India is trying to juggle this, losing talent versus gaining global clout.
To really get a handle on it, we need to start with the numbers. And honestly, this one fact really frames it. India is right at the top, often the top contributor to international migration globally. The UN figures from 2022, over 18 million people of Indian origin living outside India. That makes it the biggest diaspora in the entire world. Just think about that for a second. 18 million individual stories.
It's staggering. And where are they going? Well, the top spots tell a story. UAE, USA, Saudi Arabia, Canada, the UK, Australia. Places with jobs, established communities. And the sources really highlight two main kinds of flows here. First, you've got highly skilled folks.
Yes.
Tech workers heading to Silicon Valley, doctors, people in finance, academics. They're chasing those top-tier careers, research opportunities. Then there's this massive wave of labor migration. You mentioned the Gulf countries earlier.
Right.
That's huge for construction, manufacturing, domestic work, different reasons, different destinations.
Okay, so this movement, especially the skilled part, has sparked this long debate in India. The whole brain drain idea. The worry being, is India losing its best minds? And some stats are pretty stark. Like between 1990 and 2010, something like over 70% of graduates from the top schools, the IITs, the IIMs, were thinking about leaving, 70%.
Yeah.
So, okay, what are the actual implications? Is it just a drain?
Well, it's definitely a double-edged sword. Always has been. Maybe the edge is just shifting a bit now. The con side, the drain argument, is clear enough. You risk shortages of experts back home in research, healthcare, tech development, vital sectors. Plus, there's the loss of public money invested in educating these people, especially if they don't come back. That education is often heavily subsidized.
Right, that's a real cost.
But then there's the other side, the pros, if you like.
Okay, yeah, this is where it gets really interesting, isn't it? It's not just a one-way street.
Not at all. First off, remittances, money sent back home. And the numbers are, frankly, mind-blowing. In 2023, India got $125 billion in remittances. That's the highest in the world.
Wow, 125 billion.
Exactly. And that money goes straight to families, communities. It helps people live better, start businesses, fuels the local economy. It's a direct lifeline. And beyond the cash, there's this idea of soft power.
Ah, yeah, like the big CEOs.
Precisely. Sundar Pichai at Google, Satya Nadella at Microsoft. Having Indians leading global giants like that, it elevates India's image, its influence. It's not just good PR. It actually shapes how the world sees Indian talent, maybe influences business decisions towards India too. It builds bridges.
That amount of money flowing in, the $125 billion, it's incredible. But do the sources mention any, maybe, downsides? Like, does it cause inflation or make some areas too dependent?
That's a fair point. And yes, some sources do touch on potential issues. Very large inflows can sometimes push up local prices. And there's a risk of dependency, where maybe local job creation doesn't keep pace because the remittance money feels sufficient. So yeah, it's complex.
Okay, so stepping back.
Yeah.
What's really making millions decide to leave? What are those push factors forcing people out? And then what's the pull from other countries?
Right, the push factors. What makes people look elsewhere? Often it's about jobs, a feeling there aren't enough high-paying opportunities or ones that match their skills back home. Things like corruption, bureaucracy, they can be real turnoffs, Make it hard to get ahead based on merit. Social issues sometimes, caste discrimination, religious tensions. For some, leaving feels like seeking a fairer society. And education. Getting into top universities in India is incredibly competitive, so limited spots, especially for advanced degrees, can push people to look abroad.
That paints a picture of challenges, definitely. But it's not just about leaving something behind, right? What's the powerful pull making other countries seem so attractive?
Exactly. The pull factors are strong. A better lifestyle overall, that's a big one. Better healthcare, maybe cleaner environment. Top quality education, world-class research labs, huge draw for students and academics, and let's be honest, higher salaries. often significantly higher. That means better financial security, a different standard of living. Plus, this perception, true or not, of systems abroad being more based on merit, where hard work gets rewarded more directly, that's very appealing.
So it's clear this diaspora isn't just, numbers. They're creating this massive global footprint,
Right.
doing much more than just living abroad.
Absolutely. Their impact is felt in so many ways. Economically, they're huge players, investing in tech, pharma, finance globally, often starting companies, not just working for them. Politically, too, you see Indian origin MPs, mayors, even heads of state now. Rishi Sunak in the UK is the obvious example. That's a major shift in political influence.
Yeah, that's quite something.
And culturally, they're fantastic ambassadors. Figures like Deepak Chopra or Priyanka Chopra are well known, sure. But think broader. Indian food everywhere, yoga studios, Bollywood's global reach, the music. That's the diaspora making Indian culture mainstream.
And now there's this really fascinating twist emerging, something that kind of flips the old brain drain idea on its head, this potential reverse migration. Are people actually starting to come back?
Yes, that's definitely a growing trend, and it's really interesting. We are seeing professionals who went abroad, gained experience, maybe capital, coming back to India to launch startups. They bring back global know-how, new ideas, networks. It's incredibly valuable. Also, younger people educated overseas are returning, bringing back skills that India's growing economy really needs, and the government's noticed they're actively trying to encourage this brain gain. Well, through policies like Startup India, which supports new businesses, there are schemes to attract scientists back, like the Global Indian Scientist Scheme, and the Overseas Citizen of India, the OCI card. That makes it much easier for people of Indian origin to travel, live, work, invest back in India. It's about strengthening those ties.
That sounds really positive for India's future. But do the sources suggest this brain gain is widespread yet, or is it maybe more focused in certain areas like the big tech cities?
That's a really good point. The sources do suggest it's still somewhat concentrated. You definitely see more of it in the major hubs, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Delhi, NCR places, with strong startup ecosystems and lots of opportunities. It's not quite a nationwide flood tide returning just yet.
Yeah.
Attracting talent back to smaller towns or more traditional industries, that's still a challenge. So yes, a positive trend, but definitely still evolving.
Right. It's a powerful shift, potentially.
Yeah.
But we also need to be real about the journey. It's not always easy for these migrants, is it? What are the tough realities they face, both when they're abroad and maybe even if they try to return?
Absolutely not always easy. The challenges are real and varied. In the host countries, things like discrimination, racism, there's still issues. There's often an identity struggle trying to fit in while holding on to your roots. And practical things, visa problems, changing immigration rules like the H-1B issues in the U.S., or long waits for permanent residency. That creates huge uncertainty.
Yeah, that must be incredibly stressful.
It is. And for the lower skilled workers, especially, say, in the Gulf, exploitation is a serious, persistent problem. Issues with wages, poor conditions, lack of freedom, and even coming back isn't straightforward. Reintegrating can be tough. Bureaucracy can be frustrating. India changes while people are away, so there can be a cultural disconnect, too.
So wrapping this up, it's clear India's migration story isn't simple, and it's definitely still unfolding. It's not just about leaving anymore. It's about this dynamic global presence, this huge influence. The diaspora is clearly a source of strength for India globally. But the reasons people leave also sort of shine a light back on challenges and opportunities within India itself.
Exactly. Which leaves us with a big question, really, for you to think about after this deep dive. Will India manage to build an ecosystem, the jobs, the opportunities, the environment that's so strong people don't feel they need to leave to achieve their dreams? Or will that dream, for many millions, always seem brighter somewhere else beyond India's borders? What does this incredible ongoing movement mean for global talent flows and for how nations like India develop in the future? It's something to ponder.